All right, Michael. First off, apologies. I have saved you as Michael Goldsmith. I have mixed you up with another Michael that I work with. But these are, you'll see from the timestamp, these are your swings. So let's talk about what your stock swing looks like, what you generally come in with. So this is your standard swing. As talked about from address to the top, this is your backswing. And as mentioned, we really like how all these lines, the red line being the hips, green line torso, brown line hands, we like how they fan and stretch out. That's an efficient, right? We can sort of see a lot of the same actions. And then when we look at your sequencing, you've got a lot of the same actions. The hips peak first, shoulders peak second, hands peak third. But the biggest difference is when we look at the relative numbers of peak acceleration, where you're at, you wanted more distance. If we want more distance, we need your hands to hit their peak velocity right at impact. Now, impact for you is this line right here. So take home points is your stock swing has a really nice sequence in it, but as a result of some of the mechanics to the hand, you're leaving a lot of distance and compression on the table. So what we talked about was how we might move your swing a little bit differently. We talked about how the weight shift might feel different, or the pressure in the feet. And we also talked about how the trail hand should feel a bit more dominant, or maybe the grip could be more. Those are things to experiment with. This was one as we started to move around. So what we tried to do was to see what happened if we asked you to try and fire your hips first or get them back over. And what we saw is as you're making more of these progressions, we're seeing you're still keeping a lot of the same sequencing, but as the hand actions kind of the most new and most different, we're still sort of seeing it lag behind. Here's another one. So we're getting closer to you hitting your apex or your peak acceleration in the hands, but we're seeing now the shoulders peaking second and hips peaking, shoulders peaking first, hip second, hands third. This was your best one yet. Now, what we like about it is the timing of these two segments is though it's, the hips are just behind or just late of the torso, your hands are up at the top. We might have missed the impact point, but you're getting the hands to accelerate in hands to accelerate and make contact much closer to impact. So the higher we can get your hands to hit their velocity right at impact like we have here, the better. We still have this sort of same good general sequencing. All of these copies here have a detailed report of everything that you have. As we discussed, seeing all green here is not the goal, right? The idea is just to use this as a snapshot of where your swing's at right now and things we might look to change. One of the things we've started to work on a little bit was the hips, trying to kind of feel the hips get a bit more level. And we also talked about shoulder actions. So one of the things we'd spent more time working on was the upper body side bend. This is sort of the left-right bend of the body. And we're trying to get your lead shoulder lower at the top. So what you're going to see with a lot of these numbers, they're off a little bit, but not a whole lot. So as you can see, there's some good moves in there that you come to the table with, and hopefully we get better matchups of some of the swing plane issues with your trail hand being more dominant.